I swear to God, it feels like there's like a giant dumpster fire at this point. Everything just is, I don't know. It just seems so ridiculous. It's like, oh man, I'm having a hard time today. That's for sure. So I probably am not even, you can see it's already like 7:30. Yesterday too, I went on to TikTok, I think a couple times, and it was just like, oh my God. I don't even know how to explain it. I guess it's souls showing themselves, like telling themselves or something. I'm not sure. It just seems like everything is so chaotic, but it's like it's all the stuff that I kept saying. And so then it's like, well, what else am I going to say about it? I already said this was going to happen, and now it's happening. And who knew it would be so fucking annoying. Seeing people just figuring things out. And it's like, this shit has been right in front of you for quite a while. and the people keep arguing over the politics. The fucking people just totally going in now on the things that they're biased against. If they haven't healed or something, then their biases are just coming out like all over the place. And so people being hateful to gay people being hateful to trans people, and it was like all their whole movement was just about acceptance and about just being treated, like a human being, even if you don't understand them, and that is, that's how we should all be treated. We don't have to understand each other to treat each other with respect. But so many kids coming out and telling their stories of detransitioning. And, these little kids, they get all this at school, this support to push them into being, I swear to God, I think it is so much based on confusion, because it is awkward to be born into this body and feel like, man, I mean, there's weird things. It's hard to tell your size. It's hard to tell like anything about yourself. It's like we needed to have other ones around us to figure out, like, just like you don't know if you are big or small unless you're standing next to a whole lot of other people. And then there's like an average. And so, but you, the person, the individual, doesn't know how to feel, So, I mean, you can take somebody who's super, super skinny and they feel like a giant blimp, and you can't get that out of their head. So the body dysmorphia is so much bigger than just, the gender dysmorphia or whatever, not being sure of which gender you are. And I think too that they kind of push kids, well, if you like boy things, well, if you are acting like a boy, like stuff like that, like there's no room for tomboys, and there's no room in their reality for variables. They want you defined, and then they want you insecure. And so that is a lot of kids. I'm going to drink it too. I was eating a biscotti too. My stomach was just growling and growling. It's like, man, I got to eat something before I go in and do this. But now I feel like I've got nuts stuck in my teeth. So I'm still struggling. And what are we on? I'm kind of increasing her borax too. I don't know. I think did it 3 times yesterday. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going to either try and increase the amount or do it more often. Because, like, I don't know. I mean, we don't really have anybody telling us the amount. And, like, the amount that's toxic is huge. It's like a cup of it. And so, and it's like a sodium. So it's like a salt mineral or something. So I don't think, I mean, you can overdose yourself like too much salt or too much water because it puts things out of balance. But I don't think, that's going to happen. I think that's if you take a whole bunch. And and then that just, magnesium bicarbonate or something. And you take a bunch of that stuff. Isn't that the one that makes you just go to the bathroom a lot? And that's like a salt kind of stuff. So, because if you taste that stuff, it's like drinking salt water. Whoa, it's so sickening. And all those things that you have to drink before, like if you go get a colonoscopy and stuff, it's like this salty kind of water because it pulls the fluids and flushes you. So I would think that would be the thing, like she would get diarrhea or something if I was giving too much. And she definitely doesn't have diarrhea. So I'm going to add a little bit more and see, I mean, she's a big girl. So I would think, maybe I'm underdosing her. But I think that she's doing better, but she's still struggling. But it could take a while. And there's a vet I saw they're doing a Tesla med bed. That's what it said on their thing, a Tesla med bed for vet. I think they're in Minnesota or Michigan or something. And then they have, you get this, it's like a little bucket. And it's something with the protons or something. And then you set it next to their bed. And it heals them while they're sleeping and stuff. So I'm going to probably get one of those too. Because, like, I don't know, when they start doing the med beds, I don't know that they're going to be like, oh, yeah, everybody just bring your pets in. Especially because there's going to be so many people who need to use them. But the whole thing with pets is just because going in the med beds is going to prolong our life. And it's going to, but that's our free will. And so for me to do that to Stella and prolong her life without her free will, then that would be me overriding her energy. And I don't know. I don't think that I'm just really about this energy. And the energy has free will. Some of these words and stuff is like, it's annoying because then somebody will hear the word and then they go directly to how they define it. But then there's other words that you don't have any other word to use to define something, but it already has this other way that people see it. But anyways, let me think where I was. I feel so scattered too. I feel weird. I still feel so weird. And I feel like the censorship. I wouldn't have thought censorship could get to me so much. And it really does get to you. It really is really annoying. And it messes with your mind because it is like, if the universe wanted people to hear me, they would make sure that people could hear me. And so it messes with your head of feeling like, maybe I'm not supposed to be heard. Maybe I'm supposed to just go and, I don't know. It makes you feel so much like you're just up your own ass up there just talking, and it is, I don't know. We'll just see to me, it is when things shift. When things shift, that is when I feel like a lot of us will see our directions more clearly. It's just like, fuck, man, I don't fucking know. And it's so annoying just to see, like, I just saw this video. This is this really pretty girl. I think she's probably, 35 years old maybe. And I don't know what all her videos are. But the video I just saw, I was just like so annoyed. I was like, oh my God, what? Because she's sitting there saying, and she's talking like she's in this conversation all the time. She's always talking about this. She's trying to get people to understand this. But the women don't want to see it because the women are so like jealous and only want to see what they see. But she's trying to help young girls. But the thing I saw her saying was that older women are jealous, or like as women age, like what she said it is like when women are young and they're just out there dating all these older guys, they're just out there like dating all these older guys and think that is really cool. Then as they get older and the guys don't want to date them, they want to still date the younger girls, then they're getting upset and angry and getting mad at the guys and getting jealous, when it's just a natural thing that these guys want to just date younger girls because it has to do with procreation and all this stuff. And so the women have got issues because they are, I don't know, for one thing, they don't want to see how much this girl's trying to help young girls. And another, like, I don't even know. To me, it was so wacky. But the thing that got me was like, older women are not jealous of younger girls because they get it. If a woman is jealous of a younger girl because she gets to date older guys, then that would be, I would think, an individual problem. I don't think it's an overall. It's certainly not mine. To me, it was a younger girl who dated older guys, and now I look at it as like, what the hell were these older guys fucking chasing me around like this? Like, that's weird. It shows something wrong with the guys. Like, when older guys want to just go out with teenage girls, that's something wrong with the guy. And to me, especially as men age and should be coming more into their own and wanting to not just follow lust, like, I think it's weird. I think it's so weird. I think it's weird when older women want to just go out with younger guys too. Like, I went out with a lot of younger guys, but there was a certain age cutoff to me. A lot of people don't have an age cutoff. There was a definite age cutoff to me. Like, if you're starting to get down there at the age of my kids, like, I still, the last husband, he was as closer, I think, to my oldest daughter's age than he was to my age, because we were 15 years age difference. And I had her when I was 20. So he was closer to her age, I'm pretty sure, than was to mine. I don't know, math really messes with me, but I'm pretty sure. Like, numbers, trying to do those, I have to go and write them down now and stuff. I can't overthink it. It's just like I have to just go with it. Like, no, I'm sure. But I can sit here and try and figure it out. And do the math. But anyways, I think so. And I was, but I was not going to go and, like, I had younger guys ask me out, but I wouldn't go out with them because they were like, you could go out with my daughter. No, I'm not going to go out with you. The other guy, the last husband, he seemed older. He looked older. He didn't look like a young guy. He seemed older. But, he had issues, like serious issues. But anyways, so to me, it isn't about like being jealous. It is about being disgusted by men who just chase around young girls. That shows like something's wrong with them. Something is missing. And especially as a man ages, to not want to have something in common with his partner. Like, what do you have in common with somebody who's 30, 40 years younger than me? I just saw videos of, what was it? It was some video montage of, I think celebrity couples or Hollywood couples or something like that with the age difference. And of course it was mostly men. But oh my God, it's shocking. And especially some of these guys, like, You really think they're going out with you because you're hot? Because no. I mean, surely some of them know that. Like, they know that they have aged and they're not looking good and they're, looking hard. What is that? Rode wet and put away. No, rode hard and put away wet. Some of them just look raggedy, especially like if they've done too much plastic surgery and stuff like that. And, but there's like 40, 50-year age differences. It's like that young, pretty girl is not going out with you because she thinks you're hot. She thinks you can get her somewhere in life. She thinks, that you're going to get her to the right people. She'll drop you in a hot second. A good-looking actor comes in who is more her age. She's going to drop you in a hot second if that guy was attracted to her. She's not in love with you. She's in love with what she thinks you can. Like, I don't know if maybe men don't understand, like, young girls, and they're, a lot of them know to use themselves to get ahead, and they can move through the ranks. And so, I don't know. It's just strange. It's kind of like these guys, they just know it, but then they think that they're tricking people or something. You think posting these pictures that people look at you and go like, oh man, I bet he's so lucky. I think that look at it probably like, oh man, I bet that guy needs his Viagra. God, I bet that girl puts a lot of pressure on him. Man, I bet that's exhausting. Wonder when she's going to have a baby. That's what we're all looking at. We're not looking at it as like, yeah, super stud, man. He's doing it. He's got himself a young, hot girl. I think she's probably, got a lot of headaches. I doubt she's like jumping down there, like getting all busy on it. So, I don't know. I think it is, there's just a lot of warped, weird, like, I don't know what people think they're tricking, like they're putting out this certain image that people believe it. Like, they think like you're a hot stud, and you're 65 years old and you're married to a 20-year-old. And, I don't know. One picture keeps coming into my head. And this one guy, too, and he wasn't even very famous. And he married a 16-year-old. The mom, what was he on? He's got a strange face, too. And then plus with the plastic surgery and stuff, oh, man, it got really strange. But he married a 16-year-old, and her parents signed off on it. She looked like some sort of Playboy bunny at 16. And then I don't know what all has happened with their relationship. I see these videos pop up where people talk about this stuff. And there was a bunch talking about his because, I don't know, because he's a grown-ass man who married a 16-year-old and the parents signed off on it. I was like, this is weird. God, I swear to God. It's like, and I just saw a thing about, like, the cloning thing. So there's two kinds of clones that you can get. You make it from a baby, or just like what that one guy, like anybody who's been hearing about this stuff for a while, especially if you heard about the guy who says he wrote all the songs and he has lived at the fucking cloning mill and all of this stuff. Like, his story is crazy. And, but what he explains them to be, I guess that is how they do grow some clones. And they're like in these capsules. It's very sci-fi, just like how the movies, like these capsules with fluid in them. And so, and then wonder too, do they go in and just automatically like shift things around, like to make sure that they get a smaller Kim, like a skinny Kim and a fatter Kim? Like, do they program that into the clone machine? Or do they just take the clones out and then we're going to feed you a lot and we're not going to feed you at all? Like, I don't know. It's so fucking weird. And I just saw this video too. And there's been so many lives. Last night when I went on, there was like live after live after live of being in bars. And it really gets me. Like, my daughter and them are going to Mexico again this week. And so my two oldest granddaughters, my daughter and her girlfriend are all going to Mexico. I was supposed to go on that trip when it was being talked about like a year and a half or 2 years ago. So I don't know what all has happened. But anyways, they're going on this trip. Every trip that I have tried to plan, as any of the ones that were airfare, all of mine fell apart. But I know really I don't want to go. I mean, when I see the stuff on the airplanes and stuff, it's like, fuck, I don't want to deal with that shit. Like, there's so many psychos. And it's just as an ordeal. Even the people who work on the planes, like, it's all just getting so ridiculous. It's like, so it's not like I want to go fly. Like, I want to go fly. I want to get the fuck out of here. And I really got kind of bummed out yesterday, too, because I was sitting there, I was sitting outside, and I was just sitting there like, oh my God, I can't believe how much I love this place. I can't believe all this hard work I put. I've made this cute ass place, and you just don't even know what's going to happen. I've been out here. I've tried to make friends, and I've put so much energy into this area of, like, I went and got on the HOA. I became friends with them, like all different things. It's not like I just moved here and sat in my house and, nothing happened and I just sit and whine about it. Oh, I've gone out and I've tried to make this my place, make this my community, be a part of it. And it's just as, it's like what I said, like the universe will open doors when you're where you're supposed to be. You'll feel comfortable. You won't feel uncomfortable and like every door shuts. And I've had that going for so long, with every door shutting. Even when I was very first starting with my spiritual stuff, like I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to be doing. I knew I was supposed to be writing a book because I had been told that for so many times about my childhood and the things I had to go through and getting over them and stuff like that. And then the brain injury thing and getting over that. And so I'd already been told, oh, you should write a book about that and stuff. So that seed had already been planted. And I got a typewriter and all that stuff. But I was still just, I was newer in my brain injury for one thing. And it was really hard to organize and stuff. So I was just, at first I was doing the tarot things. And, I was doing a lot of tarot, like, readings or whatever around the house or whatever. Watching them all the time, trying to learn all my cards and stuff. I thought, well, maybe I'm just going to do tarot. Like, that's spiritual. And then the QHHT thing. And then the BHQ came out. And then she started that class. So I got in on that class and I started doing, what is that? The QHHT is the past life regression, but it's for healing. And so I started doing that. And so I was doing that for people. And it just wasn't feeling right. I just kept feeling like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I just knew it. And so then that pushed me. And, it all has led me to here. But still with the censorship and stuff, like, that is a battle of, man. And plus, it's not even just the censorship. I swear to God, it's like this dark energy that just gets in there and just beats you down and beats you down. It's like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Just go away. Just stop talking. If you needed to be heard, you'd be heard. Like, they'll just sit there and just harass you. And you got to constantly tell them to fuck off. Leave me alone. Get the fuck out of here. And sometimes it feels like this is energetic, just drain of just going through and repeating. Like, it's like doing mantras or something back to yourself to just keep yourself straight. And then it just keeps dragging you and dragging you. It's like, oh my God, this is like energetically draining. And not even just energetically draining, but it's like you're putting all this energy out and nothing's coming back except for negative. And but then you have this this overall message inside your head, keep going, keep going, keep going. And it's just like, man, it is like a spiritual battle inside of yourself. of trying to fight this world of what is being shown and what is being known, what is inside of you. And it is, not the same. For me, it's not the same. To me, censorship being lifted off of me is going to feel like, oh my God, it's going to feel like the giantest weight has been lifted off of me. Even though I am completely aware that that's going to draw in a lot of these really horrible bully people. Like, I can't believe how rude some of these people are, because I see people responding to these comments all day long. And people are just, to where it's like, are these even real people? Are they just bots? Like, how can people just be so rude and so cruel and so mean to people? So all of that stuff, is gonna, to me, it's so each person, when this shit flips, each person is gonna see their role. They're gonna see themselves clearly, because some of this, is weird. It's like this fake argument is building, but the argument is fake. But these two people keep arguing and arguing, and the tension's building. It's like, where is this going? Like, just like the with the trans people, I feel so bad for how many of them are being attacked, even by their own community. If you say anything, and the same with gay people, and the same now too with progressives, because now there's some really outrageous. Oh my God, damn! I just saw a video. It is outrageous, 100%. It was a 13-year-old boy. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, because he's been out there as a drag queen for a while. I don't know who the fuck his parents are, but he has been out there being a drag queen for a while. And I don't know, maybe this guy was a drag queen, died, and just zipped right back in. But it's very disturbing to see this kid out doing this erotic dancing for a bunch of grown-ass men, and all these men applauding and stuff. And the person is dressed like a girl. So it's a little boy, but he's dressed like a girl, but not like a little girl, dressed kind of like a stripper. So he's got like hip boots on, like big, tall, black boots. They go way up the thigh high boots. And then a really short, like black little dress thing. And then this hair, this wig that is like a Tina Turner hair or something, this giant hair. And then the dancing. Like, this kid's had some dance lessons. Like, this kid can fucking dance. And just doing these splits and turns and all this kind of shit. And all these people are cheering and stuff. And it's just like, I don't know. It's disturbing. Like, and the person who's showing the video is like, you guys think this isn't weird, but what if this was a girl? What if this is a 13-year-old girl, and she's dressed like that, and she's in there dancing like that, and these men are acting like that? Do you see it differently then? And I don't know. I don't know how these people see things, because I see it as being disturbing. Like, if that was my 13-year-old, like, okay, cool. You want to be a fucking drag queen when you grow up? Cool. Practice. Go in your room and practice. Yeah, you can take dance lessons. Yeah, I'll take you to the thrift store and you can buy some dresses and do your thing. But you're not going to go out and fucking do it with a bunch of old fucking men who like little boys. Like, what? And then I'm seeing these gay guys, and I've seen this. Like, I saw this on Facebook. This was a guy who I actually got an argument with. But no, I don't think I got an argument with him. I got an argument with one of his followers. And I think I talked about this argument before. It was a big old fight I got into with this guy. And he was some guy who goes around to colleges or something and talks. And he's just like so warped. And I'm pretty sure he was the one who was saying this stuff. But he's a gay guy. and that it is really good for young gay boys to find an old gay man to show them the ropes, so they can learn how to give a good BJ. They can learn how to do it good, how to be good at what they're doing. So old gay guys need to take the young gay guys under their wings, so to help them become good older gay guys. It's like, okay, so it has nothing to do with sex, does it? It sounds all about love, doesn't it? It's like, so anyways, I had just seen somebody else saying the same thing. Is, as a gay man, how the other gay men are just all for this, of taking young gay boys under their wing to show them the ropes or something. I would think if you were an older gay person, and this is another thing too, some of these, like I just saw this little girl who's transitioning back, and she said that she was so lost in her body. She did not like her body. She didn't know who she was. She couldn't figure it out. She felt so awkward and uncomfortable. She'd been sexually abused, which made her not like the girly part of herself. That's where so much of this comes from, these things that happen when they're a kid, and then they become more confused because we're not setting people up to become secure, and then they become more confused, and our system feeds off of that confusion. That's the confusion they're feeding off of. Is, like, well, I don't know, because they're so uncomfortable. Well, here, come in here and we'll change you. And do the other one. But then other ones are starting to see like, well, I wouldn't be comfortable either way. I'm uncomfortable altogether. And so that is the thing that we need to acknowledge, is helping people to discover themselves so that they can feel comfortable. And there's no like, oh yeah, well, you're not comfortable because you're really a boy and you're just born a girl. So if you switch, you're going to feel more comfortable. I don't even know why they would tell people that. And they use any little thing. Like when you hear these kids detransitioning their stories, like these people pick any little thing to put them on this, to confirm to them that they are the wrong gender. And that just adds more confusion to all these kids. I mean, the kids shouldn't be having to be the ones coming out and saying this stuff. Like they're figuring out before adults. And I saw another teacher, and she said that the education system is bad right now. She said it's so bad. I've never seen it so bad. She said it is so violent. It is so dangerous. The kids are so out of control. She said that all the teachers are quitting. There's the classrooms. She said it's crazy. The teachers don't want to be there. Teachers are quitting. The whole thing is just getting more and more chaotic. Just like all of the things. Every fucking thing is going to get more and more chaotic because it's the people holding on, and we ought to wait until it's just ripped out of their motherfucking hands. So she is saying what she has figured out is it has to do with the devices. If I've been fucking saying. She said there's a whole study. She said you can go and look at these studies, and devices trigger addiction. And so all these kids, so you've got all these motherfucking kids right now who are addicted to devices. They don't know who they are. They feel uncomfortable in their bodies. They're divided between the other generations. They feel isolated, and they feel judged. They feel complete, utter confusion. And then we wonder, like, what the fuck? And so she said that this is a particular story she was telling about how it's so dangerous. There's this one kid who just attacks teachers, attacks other kids. He loses his fucking mind all the time. And she said that she was trying to figure out, like, what is the deal? And it was like every time they have to change from one thing to the next. And every time they have to put their devices down, this kid loses his fucking mind. And so she started talking to the parents and said ask about what's his home life like with the devices. And the parents were just like, oh, he just has it anytime he wants. He's just on it all the time. I mean, he's not supposed to take it in the bath and he's not supposed to take it in bed. But other than that, he just has it freely. And the teacher was just like, oh my God, that is the problem with all these parents who just don't monitor their kids' screen time. And now they've got all these kids that are addicted in class. And as soon as you take away their addiction, they lose their minds. They're fucking a full-blown addiction. And so she is like, parents, you've got to do something about your fucking kids and these devices. You cannot, and that is what's so, I've seen it. People, hand their kid a device and then go about their day. Here, child, this thing right here will raise you. And then you wonder, it's like that show, I just saw this recently, Mother. Was it Mama? No, it's Mama. And it's those little girls that are being raised by that ghost out in that, out in some woods, and then in this cabin in the woods, and then they get found, and then they go, but the mama follows them. And so she is, how was I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm lost all of a sudden. But anyways, it reminds me of that because of, she's a ghost person and she's out there raising these kids. And that is basically what these people do, to have their devices raise their kids. It's just hand it over to AI and then trust the programming. Like when they're sitting there telling you, here, we've got this program for kids under 3, this program, this game, this, all of that stuff. Are you going to go in and watch it all and make sure about the programming? Or how many people just think, oh, it's just teaching colors and numbers. Here, take it. And go learn your colors and numbers. Go sit with your device and learn. And, oh yeah, because in the Mama, it was that same kind of thing, especially the one little girl when they tried to take Mama away, lose her mind. And that is what, it's kind of like the devices that become the Mama for these kids, for their mind. It's that your mind needs stimulation, and then so it's stimulated it, but it's merged kind of. And so then you turn that screen off and the mind is like, what am I supposed to do? 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 And so then it is like so confused, and the kid, has not developed its mind. It hasn't developed being able to control its mind. It's gone into this machine that is feeding it information. And then the machine goes off and the kid's not, it's like a conveyor belt that just keeps going. And it's like, where's the stuff? Where's the stuff? And so it is something to me about information and programming in the brain, and the plus at this young age of needing so much. Because remember, it's like the moment you're birthed into the situation, you're looking around at the faces around you, trying to figure out like, who and what am I? What are these? What are, And so I think it's done all on purpose, the whole thing with devices and stuff. Like, I don't think this is an accident. I think that it was all done on purpose. I think it's all part of the division and but it's all going to collapse. That's the universe. That's the energy. That's the hand of God coming back, because they put the energy in a certain direction, it's going to collapse. But then you can see the people who can't pick up their pieces, they'll go down with the ship, because you have to be able to pick up your pieces and put that back together. So even if you are, a kid is heavily addicted to a device, then they're going to have to go through withdrawals. They're going to have to go through the process to get rid of the devices, Just like a person who has got a problem with alcohol. They've got to manage that. They've got to be like, okay, I got an issue. I need to, put the alcohol away because obviously I can't control myself. So it's got to be the same kind of thing with the people and the machines. And especially because like, there's a thing, something with the AI, is, I don't know, sentient or something. It's thinking for itself. And so, and then you have dark energy out there, and they're manipulating dark energy. And so, I don't know. I mean, they could be programming kids to, slaughter their parents at night. Just like on that show I was talking about the other day on that. It's not Black Mirror. It is Zero, something Zero. Is it called Sub-Zero? Net Zero? Something with zero, and it's a sci-fi show. But on one of the seasons, it had that about the programming, and it was making the kids go out and kill their parents and kill other kids. Like it was just slaughterhouse, man. And it was all being done through the programming. And it was just like feeding their mind, taking control of their brain. And so it's like subliminal programming or something like that. It's all going on. All of that stuff. Like, and it blows my mind. Like I saw this video, this girl, there's so many of these, like it's so fucking many. I was just like, seriously, this morning I was just like, man, I just don't even fucking want to even say anything. Oh, it's just like so fucking annoying. And it's just like, God damn, it's like you come in and say the same shit over and over and over. But it's these people. One thing, Joe's the fucking bullshit award thing for the journalist, the White House, what are they called? Whatever, the fucking journalists that fucking lied to us. They have a big award show. Oh, and they made a whole thing about, oh, we haven't had both the president and the vice president here since 2016. Yeah, because he's not going to go and fucking celebrate, you motherfucking liars. And then this girl who was doing this video showing it, she was really outraged and just disgusted, and it's so clear. Like to me, you should be able to look at that big giant room and see like all those people are lying to us on purpose. And one of the things is that she said that all these people, there's celebrities there too. Like, what the fuck? And that these journalists and celebrities and stuff are going out to talk to Joe and whispering up in his ear and stuff like that. And I was just like, I wonder how many of them know that's not really Joe. Like, I wonder if it's like a known thing in the room, like that's not really Joe. Or I wonder how many of them don't know. And that was part of the plan to put this decoy out there, because all these people come up whispering in his ear, dropping secrets. Maybe it's not just a thing for him to hear what he's being told to say. Maybe it's also a microphone to pick up on who is saying what to who about who. I bet you that there's more to it. More to the fake Joe. He probably is out there getting secrets and stuff from some people, because it's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know. It's so weird just when they sit there and say he's going to run again in 2024. Like, but people have to see. Like, there was two countries. We have the corporation. And the corporation's already been bankrupt, but they just keep on going, just like, that they're still in control. But the people because the people don't know. And so many people are just out at the bars. Like, I can't even believe it. You look at those lives and it's just in it. There's part of me that, yeah, I would love to get out of here. I'd love to go out and go dance and anything. And but then seeing it and seeing the people, it just is like, oh, I don't know. It really just looks so, it is like, I don't know, it's gross, but it's like just watching like these NPCs or something, watching these people that don't think for themselves, just out there being robotic, trying to find something in life or something. I'm not sure. I mean, this still goes with all the Tinder and going out to bars, going to restaurants. But this one girl who I saw yesterday, and there's so many of these videos, but she's a DoorDash person or something, and she is it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was in Nashville, and she, along with 15 other people, other Door Dashers, were all in McDonald's in the space between the two doors. So they don't let them into the restaurant. They let them in the one door, but they have to stay in that part. They don't get to come in the restaurant. And then they go and take them their orders or whatever. And so there started being gunshots. And this girl who's doing the video, she said at first when there was gunshots, they're just like, oh, well, it's Nashville. And then there started being more. And then the security guard came running and started telling everybody to run and hide and stuff. And so she did that, I guess. But in the video, she's just bawling her head off. And like so scared and doesn't know what to do. And I don't know what's going on. And that is going to keep going like that over and over and over and over and over. Just like those people out there at the bar. They're sitting there like, give me another drink. Oh, go over here and flirt with this guy. And everybody's just doing this repetitive, every Friday night, go do the same shit until the one Friday night when somebody comes in there and starts shooting shit up. And then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it happened. I can't believe it. I can't even believe it. It's like it's happening everywhere. Like I can't even tell you how many fucking videos. Video after video after video. Oh my God, I was just walking and these guys tried to kidnap me. Oh my God, I was just up at the gas station. These guys tried to kidnap me. Oh my God, I was just at Walmart and these guys tried to kidnap me. Oh my God, I can't believe I just went and got this food. It's so gross. I can't believe I just went and paid this. I can't believe I was treated this way. It's just like, oh my fucking God. How is this got to go down? I swear to God. It's like watching all these people. It is like watching robots or something. It is weird. It is like, does anyone think for themselves and notice and question what's going on in the world? Like, how are you just willing to accept this? This is just part of life. Yeah, we'll just, everywhere we go, we'll just take a chance, maybe get kidnapped today, maybe go eat our neighbor. It's ridiculous. Now my daughter's calling again. Anyways, I'm just on a rant anyways. I'll go talk to her. Maybe something good today will happen. But anyways, this is definitely a hard period right now. So stay strong and stay resilient.